Sustainable living is a practical philosophy that aims to reduce personal and societal, environmental and social impacts by making positive changes which counteract climate change and other negative and environmental social concerns. That's it. There's your answer. You're welcome, and you can go now. No, don't go. Please don't go. Hello everybody, I'm Lal, or welcome back to Sustainable Jungle, where we share sustainability, tips, tricks, hacks, products, brands, and stories to keep our little pale blue dot from burning. So, sustainable living, right? What a hoot. It's like you're living like there's no tomorrow. Oh, wait, there might not be. Just kidding again. There definitely will be a tomorrow, just not sure us humans will be here to see it. Look, sustainable living, in one sense, is a seemingly easy concept to commute, but the moment you go deeper of what it means in context, not just in the abstract, it's like doing your tax returns. At least that's been my experience, and my wife does my tax returns. There's also no universally accepted definition. Sustainable living means different things to different people, but there are some common through lines in most. For us, in simple terms, sustainable living is a method of reducing your carbon footprint. In more complex terms, sustainable living aims to achieve an environmental equilibrium, sometimes called net zero living or striking a zero energy balance with the earth. It's very zen. In other words, return to the earth whatever you take from it. And this is sustainability in its most pure ideal form, which none of us will ever truly be able to achieve. Sorry. But that's why, sustainability, needs to be viewed in practical terms, which for us basically means you're actively taking steps to consume Earth's resources consciously, which then reduces or even positively affects your impact on society and the environment. The UN, if you want some big guns on this, defines it as understanding how our lifestyle choices impact the world around us and finding ways for everyone to live better, lighter. And it's not just about individuals, but critically big business organizations, how they build ESG or environmental and social governance policies and practices into the workplace. At the end of the day, nobody moves the big green needle like big business. And it's also important to bear in mind that sustainability or sustainable living it's a moving target, right? Recycling yesterday was all the rage. Today, not so much. There's no fixed state, end goal, or moment where you finally arrive. It's also not equally available. A lot of aspects of sustainable living can be expensive, unaffordable, or geographically out of reach. But since we're dealing with a bunch of gray hues here, it's about doing what you can within your means, however small. And the changes that you make will move your needle. No, it's not going to make the difference, but it will make a difference, and that matters. Because eventually, when enough eco-conscious people make enough earth-friendly choices, that's when we start to turn back the clock. Now that you're clear on the theory, what does sustainable living actually look like? Well, it can take many different forms, and we've written a bunch of articles on zero waste tips, carbon reduction practices, and just general sustainable living advice for your home. Some, granted, much easier to adopt than others. But these are our favorite headliners, which we think are the biggest eco bang for your buck. Number one, adopt a minimalist mindset. And just hear me out, if that sounds intimidating, think of it as adopting a mindful mindset in relation to stuff. Ask yourself, do I need that 7th pair of 90s bell-bottom jeans? Basically, the goal here is to break up your relationship with stuff. Easier said than done, I know, but ultimately the less you consume, the less waste. So figure out what's important to you. What sparks joy? That was a Marie Kondo quote. Thank you, Marie. Look, there are heaps of great channels, blogs, personalities, specifically on minimalism and mindful consumption, which you can get inspiration from. Number 2 is vote with your dollar. Such a cliche, I know. But it is literally the easiest thing you can do to practice sustainable living. You're gonna consume, I'm gonna consume, we're all gonna consume. I feel like I'm sounding like Oprah. Just buy from better brands. Brands that operate on a triple bottom line, people, planet, and profit. There's a lot of them out there in every industry. Just jump on our site and have a look. Food, fashion, textiles, personal care items, pets, hell, even cars if you have the means. Yes, there are definitely some industries which are way behind the 8 ball. I'm looking at you, tech, from a sustainability perspective, but generally you will find brands making more environmentally and socially conscious products. So if you can, where you can, support brands, ideally those that are local to you, who are changing the status quo. Number 3, reduce your meat and dairy consumption. Old news, I know, but it's still a major issue, with animal agriculture responsible for something like 14% of the world's entire GHGs. So start with Meatless Mondays. Number 4 is compost, because if food waste were a country, it would be the world's 3rd largest emitter of greenhouse gases. And that's according to the Food Waste Footprint and Climate Change report by the UN. And it's not only about food, it's also about the energy and inputs that went into producing, transporting, packaging that food before it finds its way into landfill and starts generating methane gas. But if composting is not your thing, just plan meals in advance and eat what you buy. Number 5, minimize your energy consumption. There's a bunch of ways you can tackle this one, and the easiest way is literally just turn off your lights and unplug appliances and anything electrical. Why? Because it's drawing phantom power, which apparently can account for up to 10% of your home's energy usage, even when it's turned off. You can also try adding or removing layers rather than relying on heating or cooling to maintain the perfect temperature. Use LEDs over incandescent light bulbs. Wash clothes on a cold cycle and dry in the sun if you can. And if you have the means, invest in proper insulation and solar power. It's still a much better option than drawing from the grid, which typically uses fossil fuels. And beyond these 5 tips, just keep the 5 R's in mind. That is, refuse what you don't need, reduce what you do need, reuse and repurpose as much as you can. Always choose reusables over disposables. Rot, that's compost the rest. And last, and definitely least, is recycle what you cannot refuse, reduce, or reuse. Those 5 R's, by the way, are usually quoted in the context of zero waste, but they can absolutely apply more broadly. So what's the takeaway? If you're alive, like me, you're impacting the world. And what kind of impact it's up to you, because sustainability, sustainable living, it's all a spectrum. And where you land on that spectrum is a matter of choice. And you can take it to the extremes. You can live completely off grid. You can grow your own food, recycle your waste, generate your own power. All power to you if you can do that. But if that's not you, like most of us, like me, our advice, choose one sustainability practice, hack, tip, tool, whatever. The easier the better, but just one. Then lock it down. Make it a habit that you don't even think about. And then add another. And then another. And another. And so on. I will add links to all the resources I mentioned, including our comprehensive how-to lists on living sustainably. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like button, any button if sustainable living is your thing. I'm Lal from Sustainable Jungle. Much love and equilibrium environmentalism always. Sort of, friends.